then I really, in creation, and we've been told this in the Word, in creation, I've got enough evidence to know that I can trust in God's wisdom just on what I can observe. Why is that important? I want to go back to that analogy of giving our child a bath. Without trusting in that wisdom, the minute the water hits, the pressure hits, the noise hits, we're going to revert back to acting the way that we did before Jesus. Have you ever done that? I have. And I felt strongly about something that I thought was righteous and spiritual, that I behaved in the opposite manner because of it. And I know I'm not the only one. See, it's important that we understand how to operate and why, because that starts keeping our own opinions, our own mechanisms in life from taking the place of God. His wisdom is better than ours, and he wants to share it with us. But there's something else in here that I want you to see. Pick up verse 21. It says, "My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your way securely." We just found the destination that this Proverbs is trying to get us to. Spiritually, this is a dad wanting his child to understand what a secure life as a disciple of God looks like. "And your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. Your sleep will be sweet." I've had some nights to where my sleep hasn't been the best. You ever had one of those nights? You're stressed. You've done something in the day. It haunts you. You're laying down. The only thing you could think about is the mistake that you made with someone that you love earlier on in that day, and it keeps playing over and over in your head, and you can't go to sleep. You know, if I'm operating with God's wisdom, I don't find myself in those situations, because I'm no longer trying to push my own agenda anymore. I am trying to uplift Jesus' agenda now with everything that I do. Why is that important? Family, all of you have been in a fight this week. All of you. Your fights may look different. You may be fighting stuff that we don't know. You may be fighting stuff that you are sharing with us. But all of you, myself included, have been in a fight this week. And I just need to know that I am secure in living by God's wisdom in my life. No matter what happens. Even if it seems like it's going to be uncomfortable in the moment, I'm being told right here that God is going to make sure that I don't stumble spiritually because of it. He's not going to bring me to spiritual ruin because of it. Now, I may have people do stuff to my property. They may take something physical away from me in the nature of whatever this thing that's happening to me is. But my security isn't my property. My security is in my relationship with the eternal Father who died for me and says, no matter what, you will not be taken from me. Can we choose to walk away? Sure we can. But nobody can take you from him. That's the security that he's talking about. I want you to imagine, if you will, you're walking through life. And this may seem a little odd, but do you ever do this with your kids? You put your kids on your feet and you walk, and they're walking with you. And wherever you go, they're just kind of there and their feet are walking with you. So imagine that God is doing that, but your feet are in his hands. And you're walking down this path, and you're going down this wise path, and something comes up that's an obstacle in front of you. God is saying what happens is my hands literally come out, and I remove this thing that's going to trip your soul up. If you're walking my path of wisdom, you won't stumble when that happens. I'll remove it for you. Then I can walk securely knowing that I'm walking in the wisdom of God. Anger, fear, anxiety, these are the kind of things that make us lose that focus on the security that we have in God's wisdom. But if I choose instead to step out on faith, to step into what seems like might be scary at the time and utilize God's wisdom in the situation, we may find that our spirit at the end of this is better than it was before we walked into that problem. But family, we're not going to get there by accident. There's not one of us that just naturally falls into this idea that I'm just going to utilize God's wisdom. We have to be intentional about seeking it out, employing it, maybe getting it wrong, and trying to do better the next time. Has anybody ever told you that that's okay? It's okay not to get it right the first time you try to live God's wisdom out for someone, but that's not a good enough reason to give up and say, I'm not ever going to do that again. If we utilize godly wisdom, even in situations that make us angry or scared, then verse 25 tells us we don't have to be afraid of sudden terror or the ruin of the wicked when it comes. And then verse 26 tells us because the Lord will be our confidence and will keep our feet from being caught. He lays out this path of wisdom, and then he gives us very briefly a few things that we can do practically with people around us. Proverbs 27 through 30, I'll let you read this on your own time. For the sake of time, what I'd like to do is just kind of highlight what some of these things are. Number one, he said, do not withhold good from those who it's due. Somebody came and cut your grass for you. Don't tell them I'll pay you in 2 weeks. Pay them now. Somebody did a good thing for you that you want to recognize. It really meant something to you. Don't wait until maybe I'll tell them later how much that meant. Go seek them out right now. We don't know what each other are going through. That one word of encouragement might be the tipping point for them to bring their day or their week back around. Verse 28, if you have what is needed on hand, do not say to come back at a later time. So somebody comes up to your house like, hey, Todd, I really need you to take me down and pick up my truck at the shop. My truck's being worked on. I don't have anybody to come pick me up or to take me to it. Well, okay, but first I've got to go do X, Y, and Z before I can come do this. And then something happens, and then I may not circle back around to do it, or I come back around to do it, and the shop's closed, and my neighbor doesn't get to pick their car up. Do not plan evil against your neighbor. And the verse says when that person's not done anything to you. I find it interesting that it says don't plan evil against your friend. Because we don't want to do that, do we? Do we even know our neighbors? If you walked out on your street and walked to the 5 houses around you, do you know their names and do you know what their families have going on right now? So let's not plan evil for them, but let's start planning some good for them too, right? I mean, we come together as a family because we believe in the God that we serve, and we believe in the power that he has, and we believe in the gospel of the good news that he left heaven and that he died for us, that we've got a chance one day to live with him forever should we choose him. Do our neighbors know that? Do not contend with a man for no reason. I struggle with this one. Growing up, I was a swing first, ask questions later kind of guy. No idea why God called that mentality into ministry. And then I started seeing because he needed to work on me. He needed